This interview right here is not going to be about traumatizing Sachin further. He's already said what he had. This is about the trauma he's feeling after that traumatizing experience.
If you are planning to go there, just be prepared for the worst. This happened with me. First of all, I was shocked that there was no acknowledgement of the case. I was thinking of apology. I thank to my viewers who pushed this matter. They made the video trending and they shared it all across the social media. They actually forced me to carry like a bundle of cash. They forced me to show it everywhere I was going. Indian embassy is not very active in foreign countries to help Indians.
Hello and welcome. You're watching me, Sanket Upadhyay, on TheFederal. The show is called AI with Sanket. This is the AI of news because news in India today does not need artificial but analytical intelligence. We have traveled across the world. All Indians do. Indians love to travel. But one such Indian faced a huge problem when he traveled abroad. He traveled to Jeju Island with his wife. Sachin Awasthi is a very prominent content creator. And what followed was absolute horror. He took to his internet platform. He explained to the world what he went through, the detention camp where he was put in at the airport for no fault of his. Nobody told him what his fault was. Why was he not allowed? Why was he and his wife kept in that detention center? The conditions of that detention center. But this interview right here is not going to be about traumatizing Sachin further. He's already said what he had to. This is about the trauma he's feeling after that traumatizing experience. That is the response or the lack of it from the Indian government. Sachin Awasthi, thank you so much for joining us on the program. I would want to know from you, we saw your video. We've seen that millions of people have expressed solidarity. Some have expressed doubt. However, a lot of people have watched what you went through. Number one, why did you feel the need to put this out on your social platforms?
So when it happened, it was the time of mid-December before Christmas. But when I came back from there, I was not even thinking about making a video or telling people about it because I was in my own personal mental struggle. I was recovering with my own trauma. My wife was recovering with her own trauma. So, but after a few days, after a few weeks, I realized that I will tell this to at least my friends and my family so that they are aware if they are planning to go there anytime. So that's why I thought that if I'm telling them, I should tell my audience also, my viewers also, ki if you are planning to go there, just be prepared for the worst. This happened with me, and rest is up to you what you do with this information.
Sachin, when you took to your social media platforms and went public and believed that it is going to be a sort of a public service where you'll inform all and sundry about what you went through, the Indian government did respond, however, not to your case directly. A generic advisory was issued on the 24th of February 2026 at 2:24 p.m. in which a lot of details were given on how Indians must travel to Jeju Island in the Republic of Korea, what all things must be kept in mind, what documents you must carry, what are the assumptions that you must not believe in. You must have read this advisory. What did you think at that moment when you were reading this advisory?
First of all, I was shocked that there was no acknowledgement of the case. I was thinking of apology is the very far thing. They have not even acknowledged the case, and the advisory is it consists of all the old points. There's nothing new in the advisory. It's all just repeated points. Everybody knows it. Indians are very I will say they are very responsible travelers. I am a responsible traveler. Me and Deepshika, my wife, whenever we plan to go somewhere, we do 1 or 2 weeks of thorough research before going anywhere in any country. So everyone knows the points that they have, and there are some really vague points which are just out there without any details or explanation, like a point in which they are saying that the airline in which you come to the Jeju Island, that will be responsible to take you back and with the next available flight. But there is no limit that they are saying that it will take you back in like 2 days, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. There were people who were staying there for months. I don't know the exact reason, but they were there for months. So they should tell that there is no limit when you will be sent back. And other thing also, it does not say that you will have to, if you want to leave early, then you will be pressurized to buy a expensive, really expensive return ticket with your savings, with your money, to go back to your own country just for being a tourist.
Now, this is very, very shocking because I feel and I sense a sense of disappointment in the response of the Indian government that they have forget soothing you or reaching out to you and comforting you. They have not even acknowledged what you went through.
So I'm not sure, but I thanks to my viewers. I thank to my viewers who like pushed this matter. They made the video trending and they shared it all across the social media. And I think it's because of them that they are like bound to release the advisory, because if you go to the page of Indian Embassy in Korea, in every post you will see there is some comment about this incident, like please comment on this incident, what are you doing on this incident. I think they were forced to just say something, so that's why they downloaded the pre-released advisory and posted it.
But it's a bit of a nothing explanation. No, they've not said anything new. And let me just read that out. Point number 2 says mandatory documents to carry when traveling to Jeju Island in the Republic of Korea. Confirm return air ticket, hotel reservation, detailed travel itinerary, proof of sufficient funds, passport valid for 6 months, travel advisory, insurance, contact details of accommodation. Tell me, Sachin Awasthi, did you lack any of these documents or financial preparedness?
No, I did not lack any of these documents. I was even more prepared than this. As I told you earlier, that we researched 1 or 2 weeks before going to any country. They forced me to carry cash. I carry cards because no one carries huge piles of cash these days anywhere. So they actually forced me to carry like a bundle of cash. They forced me to show it everywhere I was going, and still they did not check it at the immigration. They did not check it before denying my entry. They did not check my bank statements. They did not check my work, what I do, who I am, and I'm not there to work in their country. So it's very vague, and I think every Indian who travels abroad, 99.9% of Indians travel with these documents, and I don't think there's anything new mentioned in like these list of documents.
Sachin, point number 5 says, please understand the conditions of visa waiver program. Jeju visa waiver does not permit travel to mainland Korea. Attempting to leave Jeju for mainland Korea without a visa is illegal. Overstaying or unauthorized activity may result in future travel bans. Are we to assume that in your case, you did not know of this, or were you aware that traveling to mainland Korea is not possible?
I was aware of this, and I was even aware that you cannot travel, that you cannot even take a connecting flight which has a layover in anywhere in mainland Korea before entering Jeju. Same case goes for leaving. I was aware that much. I very cautiously booked my flights which do not have any layover in mainland Korea. I do not had any plans to go to Korea. I have all the plans for staying in Jeju Island only. My bookings were for that island only, and my return ticket was from that island only. I if I had to go to South Korea, I know that there's a visa there. So if I had to go to, I would have applied for the visa. I've read all the conditions, and then I planned the to go Jeju Island.
In this note shared by the Republic of South Korea, the Indian Embassy in Korea, there is a community note where many of your supporters, possibly, or readers, have added context. They say a couple was detained for 38 hours even after having all the documents. They're talking about you. But Indian embassy, instead of taking issue with the Korean government, they are policing Indians. Do you get this feeling that there is this tendency in the Indian establishment, the embassy, the High Commission, to school Indians only? That you must be at fault. Sachin Awasthi must have done something wrong.
Yes, and that feeling is like transferred to people, some people also who say that there must be some fault on your side. This is only one side of the story. So they should go to like ask the Jeju Island, ask the Korea immigration to release the other side of the story, and the part on the schooling. And yes, I felt that they are actually schooling Indians like how to travel. Like Indians don't know how to travel. We travel Indians have traveled almost every country in the world, so they know how to travel. Indians are responsible travelers in general, and the other thing that that there was no acknowledgement, and there was no thing that no clear statement that Jeju Island is doing this. You will be held in a detention center which will have these kind of conditions. So this is, I think, is somehow lying to the to the public, that they will put you in a. They have written very softly that they will put you in a holding center until the next available flight. It is not a holding center, it is a detention center. It is almost a jail. You cannot compare it with Indian jails. I don't know how they are, but it is a jail. It is a kind of a jail.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were also commenting on how detention centers elsewhere in other countries are versus what you went through. A couple of naysayers also have been pointing fingers at you, Sachin. So I want to know, what would you say to them?
There is a section of people who think that there is no problem in our country. Every country has problems, and so they are saying that this is looking normal. You haven't seen detention center of US, Canada, or so. I was not there to see the condition of the detention center. I do not travel to see the condition of detention centers around the world. Like, how is your detention center? Let's go to Australia's detention center. I travel to see the beauty of the country, not detention centers. And no traveler is prepared for to go to a detention center.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you wouldn't pack up to go to a detention center. I get what you're trying to say. Sachin, do you then feel let down by the Indian government and its response, or the lack of it?
Yes, I felt I was let down. There are many. I have received many messages of people saying, describing their case, like how there was lack of support from embassy. Some people even said that कि अगर, like, if they have even picked your phone, they would have not even helped you. Like, they picked my phone and they started arguing with me. They started teaching me like, you must have did something wrong. And there are people who are famous, who are popular travelers. When they were detained, it made that time also it made national news. But since then till now, nothing happened. Same advisory, same things, just teaching our Indians only that you must have done something wrong.
Did you also receive such a similar communication? Did you speak to someone on the phone of the embassy, or it never came to that?
No, it never came to that. As I told earlier, I tried two times. First was not picked up, first call, and the second call was some automatic voice in Korean. So I did not understand that. And at that time, me and Deepshika were so like anxious. So we agreed that we should channelize our energy in getting out of this place, because we have heard earlier also that Indian embassy is not very active in foreign countries to help Indians. So, and they told us that if you buy this expensive ticket, you will go back. So we tried to channelize our energy there in like getting back of that place, getting out of that place.
Would you even now conclude that this should not be seen as a reflection of the Indian passport or the Indian state or the Indian identity abroad, and this could still be a one-off, or do you feel that this is a sort of selective treatment to Indians?
I believe that there is a pattern. I believe that there is a pattern. If you search on YouTube, and even if you watch any travel vloggers who travel frequently, I think most of the vloggers will say that there is a problem with Indians and Indian passport whenever they reach the immigration counter. There is a particular kind of look which the immigration officials give to Indians, and there is a sense of doubt whenever they see Indian passports. They double check it, and they see Indians in a very different light. I think most of the travelers will agree with this.
My final question. Have you been able to come out of this trauma of what you went through? And now that you've seen the lack of response and the disappointment that you have got from the Indian government, does that reintroduce some trauma in your life which you are trying to get over?
So I actually came out from the trauma like a few weeks back, because also I have a job to make people laugh. That is my job. If I'm not if I will be if I won't be happy, I won't be able to make anyone happy. So I had to come out of that. And my wife Deepshika also lives with me. So she also, we have to, because we it's our job, we have to like make people laugh, so we have to come out of the trauma. But since I've uploaded the video, and like every time I talk about it, the memories come in mind, so it gets me. It little things that happened there, they get me. But still, because I have a job of to making people laugh, so I try to overcome it every other day until this scenario is going on, like.
And that was the trauma then, Sachin. My question is that the lack of response and respect for your concerns, does this re-traumatize you?
It is I will not say that it re-traumatized me, but it's obviously a disappointment. I am disappointed, but uh, end of the day, like, we Indians, we don't expect much from our authorities. We are like, everything is fine, it's all okay. So they I don't think they have the power to re-traumatize me again. But yes, I am very disappointed. I am very disappointed in them.
For those of you who do not know, Sachin Awasthi had to go with very less food, very little water, extremely pathetic conditions in the toilet. He has narrated all of these things. Anything specific that you want to tell the viewers who may not have seen your video? How is
To
how is a detention camp like? What do they make you do for no fault of yours?
So the first thing was the strict rules. They were even angry when we sat together in middle of those halls. We were scared just after getting in the center. So we were scared. My Deepshika was scared. So we did not wanted to go inside those halls. But they were angry at that also. Like, you can't sit here together. Just go to that hall. You go to this hall, and you, ma'am, go to that hall. So we cracked the code, like there was a smoking room in between, although we don't smoke. But we thought that if we sit in the smoking room, they think that we are there to smoke, so they will let us sit there. So we sat all the time, we spent there. 95% of the time we spent in the smoking room. So that was the thing. And some other thing that I have already described in my videos, like the food. And I want to point out two things. The first thing was that they made us sign a paper forcefully, in which it said that we are giving you proper accommodation and proper food. I was ready to pay. I was saying that I am paying you. If you have any hotel nearby, you can detain me there as well. Airport has lounges. You can detain me there. I won't. You won't let me cross immigration. So at least let me be around the gates or anything. But they did not allow that. Even after buying the return ticket, they did not allow that. And the second thing I want to point out, that many people are talking about Jeju Island and South Korea, but I want also people to know that China was worst. In China, I don't have any video of China, because they did not even let me put my hand in my pocket. Where was my phone? It was constantly ringing. My father was calling. So China was worst. And I don't know that China is not getting the that much attention in this matter.
Uh, you make people laugh, You are a content creator. I've seen many of your videos and they are simply hilarious. You said that it is my job to keep people or making people laugh. I would just say, Sachin Awasthi, please hang in there. The world needs a lot of laughter. The world needs smiles. You're doing your bit. Don't let this terrible, terrible episode deter you from this mission to spread happiness and joy, which you so beautifully do. Thank you so much, Sachin.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
for your
sir.
time.